I'm not the kind of person who'll be like, I'm always good. No. I have my ups and downs. There are times when I have, there are times when I don't. Nobody can really understand your struggle. They'll see you and think, everything is glitz and glamour. And I'm speaking for me and people that I know are in that situation that I'm in. They one day they are here, another day they're, and this is not about the limelight. This is about them as a person, their finances, we see a lot of this happening, and it's heartbreaking. I could not breathe. Like, I was freaking out. My eyes were welling up, and I didn't know what to do because my kid had been in school for like, I don't know, like maybe already had been in 2 weeks. I never delay with paying fees and that, and I'm organized. So this was a setback. This was the first time I'm like, whoa. If I didn't have my kid, I think I'd have taken my life. Like, I knew things are there. I knew mommy's there. You kind of don't even struggle with life, Like, you just sure everything is going to go well. Hey, what did you want today? What do you want? Okay, I'll get it for you. Yay! Those things. Then, boom, she's not there anymore. So it was it hit hard that I had to now actually, I think I shrunk back into myself. My mom she named me Cleopatra. Everybody was telling me about the queen of Cleopatra when I was growing up, and I was mad at her. I went back home one day crying. I'm like, why did you name me Cleopatra? Everybody keeps telling me how beautiful the queen is. And then she was like, what's your beautiful? I'm like, because I'm like, this is too much pressure, mom. It's too much. Then she told me, no. Let me tell you why I named you Cleopatra. I used to be a hopeless romantic.
Girl,
now I don't know. I think I have an ice box where my heart used to be. I went blank on stage, but with stage there was always somebody who cues you the line. So when they saw me go blank, it was actually I was acting alongside Natasha because it was an obsessions play. Natasha Sinayobe, and then she said my line. So when she said my line, because she said it like it was her line, then everything came back. But I don't know why I went blank. Like, it can happen. When I first went to Kenya, I had for me mentally, I was like, I need to make an impression that we are great as Ugandans, because then they'll hire other Ugandans. I was the only Ugandan on the set, and then I had a sister. We were 2 Ugandans, and after that, in the next seasons, Gaetano joined the series, So there was Gaetano, then another time, So you end up feeling like it ends up opening more doors. The thing is, you can never prevent somebody from the experience. You can't. You will tell, you can know that you'll tell somebody, but if you go there while you're waiting, you're going to fall. That person will listen to you after they've fallen. National Theatre was our blackboard, if you may say. That's why most creatives used to meet. And I think that's why when they wanted to close National Theatre, people were like this. No way. We were like, no, that is how can a country not have a National Theatre? Please don't ever. My mom used to tell me that I would be a star someday. Like, my little star, you'll be a star. She had wanted to take me to the New York Film Academy because it's been there for a long time. Like, we had a plan with my mom somehow, Then she died before. So things change. But somehow, if you're destined to that, it's like everything I wanted to do I didn't know how it was going to play out, but somehow the journey came together.
Cleopatra Koheirwe. Thank you for making the time.
Thank you for having me, Lynn.
Yes. I don't know, of all the hats that you wear, which one do you, have at heart?
Which one do I have at heart? I think all of them have been part of my heart. But maybe which one, like if you're asking which one do I lean most towards, I think filmmaking, acting. The filmmaking. But everything that I have, like every title, I have done for more than 6 years. Radio presenting. I did, I think, for more than 6 or 7 years. The music, dance, and drama with Obsessions, that was like 7 years. It's like that was always the timeline. Like if I reach 6, I start thinking of moving on, of switching it up.
And I think there are a lot of people who can relate to that, at least I do, when it comes to having, different passions and finding the spark in so many different places. Do you ever find that you need to juggle?
There was a time that I had to juggle, and that was in my 20s. That was like I'm busy, yes, but I think that was, I feel like it was the busiest because I was a student, and then I was yeah, from my teens to the 20s.
Yeah.
I was a student, then I was working in a TV station, I'm working in a radio station, I'm working in a magazine, then I'm teaching salsa, then I was really like, I think I would have been, if I had been abroad, I would have been a billionaire by now, you know. I was really doing the most. I was working so much, and I had money. It was like, I was just like, I don't know, a hustler, should I say? Yeah, I was really working hard. So I juggled many things. Then as time went on, I started dropping one thing at a time, because I think with that span of like 6 to 7 years, I kept feeling like I'm shifting. I'm growing into something else. I want to let something else go. So I started by leaving Obsessions, 2007, because I felt like you know, like you feel you've done so much, you've given so much, and you're not giving anymore. Then I was busy. I was like the busiest. So I would miss rehearsal. I'd miss, and I hated that. I hated that I would miss rehearsal. And I'm like, you know, I think it's just time for me to leave. But each time I would want to leave, they would always say, no, wait. So it took me like another 3 years to, you know, end up making that decision. And I stood my ground. I'm like, guys, I think it's time I left. So it was always a shift of, I feel like I should now do something else. So I dropped Obsessions first, and the next thing I was like, then I dropped Capital FM. Then after that, then I stayed with African Woman magazine and WBS TV by then for some time, presenting on TV, and was also partly producing. I would work closely with the producer. I was learning the editing. And then African Woman, I was mostly doing features, celebrity features, and I also did a political show on the TV, meet members of parliament and go to their constituencies to see what they're doing and the impact they're having. And there was this MP Luchamuzi. You remember Luchamuzi? Luchamuzi was another one who was hilarious. So there's like, I've done a lot. I did the magazine that was, Showtime magazine was like an entertainment all-round kind of show. You either go to the one day we are in the park, and the next time I'm on a quad bike, another time I'm in the theater, another time I'm in a salon. It was like an all-round kind of show. So I think I learned so much, and I kept dropping one thing. So by the end of it all, I think I stuck with film.
Right.
I stuck with film, and radio. I went back to radio, and then I stayed with film and radio for the longest.
I'm so curious about like how you feel about the path not taken. Do you ever sometimes think and say, if I had stuck with music, where would I be now? Or what stages would I have gone on? Or is it something where it's just like, okay, that ended, let's just continue with this next era?
Imagine it ended, and I don't regret.
Okay.
I feel I even get tired thinking about it. Music is very, 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 I think it's much more demanding than film. It's everything is demanding, but I feel like with music, the artists, before they actually make the money, they spend. It's one field where you have to put in money before you make the money, which is the same as filmmaking though. But like with the artist, you still have to sell your music. You still have, so you have to go to the clubs, they have to play your music, you have to pay the DJs, you have to, by then it was, I don't know if they still make the CDs now, but you know, you have to burn the CDs, and you have to do the photo shoot for the printing of the artwork, and then you have to get like interviews, especially. What was lucky with us was that with Obsessions we had a whole system, a structure, and the girls, we never used to go to the clubs to push the music. It was the boys who would go to do that. So we were not under that pressure, which was different. And then we were protected most of the time. Like if we go to perform, then we leave after that. Now I feel like most of the female artists are struggling on their own, and then sometimes if they don't have management, like proper management, you find that they get exploited or used, or it's just like, I feel like it's a mess. And I think that's one of the reasons I don't regret sticking it out in music. And then the way that you would have to always be, it's like your life is not your own. I'm a bit private. I'm a private person in a way. So the music demands that as a woman, you have to be sexy all the time. You have to, so there's a lot of like nudity now. There's a lot of too much, you show too much before they even see your talent, you know what I mean? which back then was different, you know. You capture the audience with the performance, and the costume is like a bonus, you know. You add on the costume, but then you dress according to where you are. There's that pressure. There's that pressure on the woman or the female artist to be sexy, to be gorgeous. There's body shaming, because some of them, you see the pictures that they take of them and then they put them out there before then they have shared their edited versions of, like, come on, just respect the artist. So it's a mess. I'm like, nah, no. It's one of those that you don't. You have to have bodyguards. With music, you have to have bodyguards. Filmmakers, it's a whole different dynamic. There's the respect, then there is the, like, people won't just come grabbing or rushing to you because they see you on the screen. They are more curious of, are you that person that you play, or...
I think also it's a difference between how people experience the art. Because with film, you sat down, you're watching something, blah, blah, blah. With music, you know, you're in the crowd, you're screaming, you're shouting, you're reaching out for this person. So you're more, I think, inclined to actually go and, you know, cross that boundary when you're in person than with
the musicians are more exposed. They're more exposed. So I didn't want that. I think I was just tired of performing, moving. It was too much moving. You have to have a whole calendar full. I would miss a lot of family events. Family, just there's a time that's like, no, don't call Cleo, I think she's performing or something. It's different from I don't miss it. I don't miss music. I love singing. I love musicians. I like seeing how artists grow. I see talent, you know. I used to say that if I was very rich, I would be a talent scout. You know, the one comes and says, I see what you can do. Let's do it. And then I make them stars, you know, because it's amazing. Like, there's a lot of talent. There's a lot of...
But I mean, okay, still on that whole shifting from one era to another, how do you make that transition smooth?
You know, when you're transitioning, you don't even know how it's going to go. I honestly can't tell you that I always really had like a real plan. I just would feel it in my bones that now it's time. So real? No, I would feel it like, now it's time. It's time. Like, and then you feel like, I'm so fed up. No. I don't feel like I'm giving 100% to this. You know? Then I start thinking, like, you know what, I think I should kind of let this, and then, okay, but if I let go, will I manage? You just think, it's like you're now, I would do the pros and cons. So if I choose to do this and let go of this, what am I going to be left with? How will I manage? Okay, how will I cope? Okay, so I can manage here, I can do that. Because you still got it, girl. Okay, let's do this. I would make most decisions by myself. You know, because I didn't have a manager. Like with acting, I would agree to contracts by myself. So it was. I always had to think with myself first. And then if I'm maybe to consult with my guardian, it's like I already have my thoughts together. So that they don't see like I don't know, maybe. No. I did not want to sound vague or unsure or indecisive on what I want to do. So I would go to them when I know I want to do this, but do you think, what's your opinion? So I would ask for their opinion, but I've already kind of made up my mind.
I'm now curious, like, growing up as an only child, how did that affect your creativity or your pull towards the creativity?
Well, you know, when I started performing, I wasn't the only child.
Okay.
I could say, because my mom passed on when I was 15. That was Form 3. I just started Form 3. And I hadn't really gotten into the professional performing space yet. So now being in the professional performing space was much later when I'm living with my mom's older brother and the wife, my guardians, and their 4 sons who are like my brothers. They're my first cousins, but people think, most people know them as my brothers, and I'm the only sister. Only girl. That was the only advantage of the only girl. So I can't say, I can't say that really I was like the only child. Because I wasn't even the first. I wasn't like I wasn't their child, so it's different. Yes.
Okay. So not that dynamic. How was that like when it comes to how you became now? Like, did that contribute anything to?
Yeah. First of all, it was hard in the beginning when you are used to being with someone, or you have that safety. That certainty that this is the person I can rely on. This is my, when I had my mom, I could say that I was a bit of a spoiled kid, like I was, but not spoiled in a bad way. It was that assurance, like I knew things are there. I knew mommy's there. You kind of don't even struggle with life, like you're just sure everything is going to go well. Hey, what did you want today? What do you want? I want this. Okay, I'll get it for you. Yeah. Those things. Then, boom, she's not there anymore. So it was it hit hard that I had to now actually, I think I shrunk back into myself. I became an introvert. I was in school. I was like a workaholic. I did therapy a few years ago, and I got to learn, because the therapist made it clear to me that what I was doing, I became like a workaholic in school. And that was my way to cope with my mom's loss, like losing my mom. Because that's when we were how many in class? I don't know. We were many. Back then, like in school, I don't remember how many we were more than 30 in a class, because now it's like a standard 30 in schools. But by then you would be like 50 in a class or something. I became the 19th. I never heard that hard. I was bright, but I was not the bookworm. I was so worried about my future. I don't know if I perform badly, will my guardians keep me? If I behave badly, I mean, like I was just on eggshells also in my own life. I wouldn't really share what I'm thinking. I wouldn't really. And my brothers would see it sometimes, because they used to see they knew how bright I was before, how how active and energetic I was, but I kind of had shrunk into myself, and I was always writing poetry. So that's how I started writing poetry. Then I joined the drama club in school. I joined the choir. I became a library prefect. I was just like busy all the time. And I think it was just to excel. Like I just wanted to be good at everything and then I just wanted to like please my guardians. Because you're not sure. I wasn't in my way. Like I don't think they knew all this. I don't think they knew what I was going through. Because these are parents who are from a time. We're millennial. I'm a millennial. So they're from a time of like you don't really talk about your feelings. You don't. Everything is just say, this is bad. You don't do this. You don't go here. You sexy. You have sex. You will die. I was even scared of, like, when you're so naive that you're scared that if a boy touches you, you'll get pregnant. Like you don't like what the. Everything is just so in my mind, like I can't. I think even now with being a mom to my daughter, it has made me a better present mom, because I handle things differently. I speak to her deeply. I want her to understand herself, her body. I've been talking to her about her body since she was, I don't know how old, but like you keep changing the language the more mature she becomes. Like I wanted her to be aware so that she is not taken advantage of in any way.
There are a lot of questions that the older generation always discourages people from asking, or like the why, and then they say because I said so.
Yes.
So I don't know if it's different where it's like, no, this is actually why. Because this, that, the
You would
other.
fear to ask questions just to know.
You
And
ask
my
people,
guardian
like,
was
"Oh,
a
you're talking much."
soldier, doctor. You guy,
Yeah.
leave me alone. I even used to think he could see me wherever I was. You guy, you know, when you feel like there's a camera, like like he knows intelligence. He's working with the Internal Security Organization, the government, and then, he calls you and like there's a time I think I don't know, I lied about where I was going. Then my friend, no, I think I said the truth. But when I went to meet my friends, they had lied. We were going somewhere else. And then I was so nervous and worried about it that when he called, wow, I was like, I think he has seen me. I think he has seen me. I did. I reported myself. I was like, oh, some of my friends went here. Now we are here. I was always, I think if he's to ever talk about me on camera, he'll say she was just very honest.
Yeah.
The first time I started dating you guys, I went and introduced the.
Are you serious?
I didn't introduce him, but by photo.
Yeah.
I had to
Like,
go.
this is the
I was like,
person.
I need to go talk to my Zay and tell him. So I have a boyfriend.
Wait, what
Why?
point was that?
I don't even. It was even so innocent. This was now campus.
Okay,
towards the
okay.
end of my campus,
Yes.
I got a boyfriend towards the end of my campus, and such a nice guy.
Like,
And
no, I have to report myself.
and he was also studying. You know, he was also young like me.
Yeah.
But like I was so nervous. I'm like, if I don't tell him and something happens,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Right. It was that kind of.
so you can see the dynamics of growing from you're the only child to now you're living with other people and you're not sure about your dreams or your goals. My mom she named me Cleopatra. Everybody was telling me about the queen of Cleopatra when I was growing up, and I was mad at her. I went back home one day crying. I'm like, why did you name me Cleopatra? Everybody keeps telling me how beautiful the queen is. And then she was like, what's your beautiful? I'm like, you know, because I'm like, this is too much pressure, mom. It's too much. Then she told me, no. Let me tell you why I named it Cleopatra. She even got me, she got me the DVDs. Okay. The tapes by then, the 90s tape. VHS. If you don't know VHS, just go on, I don't know, Google. It will show you the tape. So the tape, big like this. And she got them for me. And she said, this is Cleopatra Jones. It was a character like Indiana Jones. You know Indiana Jones, like almost like James Bond. They used to make stuff like that. James Bond would have many sequels. Then there was Indiana Jones, and then you have 1, 2, 3. Then there was Cleopatra Jones. So the Cleopatra Jones, she was a black chick, and she should kick, fighting. What? She was an actress. I forget the real name. I think she was Tamara something. The real name of the lady who played Cleopatra Jones' character. So she got me those tapes, and she said, "I loved this lady, and I named you after her." I named you after this character.
The Egyptian.
No. And she's like, but the Egyptian queen is also a bonus. Yeah. And she said, you're beautiful. I'm like, oh my God. So, I felt like it was such a big name. They say there is power to a name.
Yes, absolutely.
I believe it. Yeah. Do you know that most Michaels can dance? Michael Ross.
Wait.
Michael Jackson. Because Michael Jackson was the major person we knew who was a performer and a dancer. So, but there was Michael Ross. Michael Ross was a good dancer. He's a good dancer. There was Michael Kasaija, who was in Obsessions, and he was our choreographer. Yeah. There is Michael. Most Michaels can dance. If you're a Michael and you can't dance,
I'm going to pay attention to that now.
Then you find that be careful. If you're not a mom yet, please be careful the name you give your child.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. You have to give be careful. But Chalina. Oh, really? What are those funny names they give? Like, don't give a name that is for loss and pain because that child might also go into pain and loss. I ended up in the film industry.
Right.
I don't know why, but somehow I was always drawn to the creativity of the whole Family Matters, the sitcoms, Club 227, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, all these other new, the 90210, then later on Orange OC, the Orange County. There were so many shows I was always watching, and I was so curious to know how do they do it? How do they blend like that and actually look like a family.
Yeah.
So my curiosity was I always wanted to know how it works, and I kept saying one day I should be able to do that, like entertain people and make them laugh and make them smile. And for me, it was more about making other people happy than becoming famous. You know, like, because by then there was the newspapers were focusing on politicians and sports.
Mostly.
So my dream was not to be in a paper. Like, it was not, those are different goals. Or to be, so it was more about, I want to make people happy, I want to make people laugh, I want to make people smile. And I think it's because I was depressed. As a kid, I was depressed. I didn't know, maybe, but most of my poetry was also morbid.
Is your daughter, does she look like she's interested in
Oh
stuff,
my
like
God.
in entertainment or what?
She's dynamic. She's me and her dad double. I feel like she's so talented, and it's not forced. I didn't tell her she wanted to act on her own when she was like, I get it to work. And in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I don't know why you want to join this. You know, like, it's no one, you know, like, the funny thing is that when you've been in an industry and you've suffered, you you're like, do I want my child to go through all these things? We were at this year. We were at an event. It was to do with the IP music IP, and of course we were there. We were invited. I was invited. As long as you've been in music before, you're considered, because your music is out there, your content is out there. So we were called, and then Madam Joanita Kawalia of Afrigo Band stood up and spoke, and her speech touched most of us, because she was like, I have been in this industry for 30, I think has been 30 years, 30, something like that, 30 years. Must be 30 or 35, I don't know. Because I've been in it so far now, 24 years. Because it's like 2001 is when I actively started performing professionally. So 2000, but you could say even 1999 in high school, because we used to perform at the National Theatre as Namasagali College. So oh girl, dude, hey, how old am I? Anyhow, I'm 45. I'm 43. Yeah. So I've been in the industry for like 25 years. And then she said she had been in the industry for 30. Yeah. Because she also started young. All of us who start young, people grow with us. They see us grow. They don't know we're also growing. But, but they're like, oh, Natakula. You find someone saying, you don't grow. Like, but I'm still young. But like, I'm just, you get. So she talked about how her child wanted to do music and she wanted to collapse. But she could see her child, the daughter sings beautifully. She performs with her now. She sings beautifully. She's like, I could not stop her from pursuing that just because I've suffered in the industry, or just because I know what the hustle is, or just because I know that it's unstable. It's not a 9-to-5 job. You don't have an safe guaranteed. You don't have like money coming in all the time. You don't have medical cover, So she was like, but I had to let her. And she shared her pain, So now I'm also like that. When my daughter started showing that interest, I was like, I don't know if I really want her to be in it, but I will have to support her, because the thing is, what I went through was my guardians were trying to protect me as well. They were doing the best they know how. And they didn't want me to be in the arts. My uncle wanted me to be to get a proper office job. She's like, you have security, you have what? He wanted me to be secure, And me, I was here thinking, I want to perform, I want to create, I want to what? That's my passion. You feel your heart is going to explode because it's just what you want to do. It's like in your veins, it's so strong. I can't tell you how I used to feel. I would even shake when you would say no, like I want to go to, let's say, the theater or whatever. There's a time I would go to the cinema, just the cinema. Said, if you want to watch movies, You ask me for money, I give you money. You go to the video library, buy the DVD or the VHS, whatever it was then. Come and watch for me. I didn't go to the cinema. Even I did not know what the cinema looked like inside until much later. So I was, he was very protective, which is good. Because I appreciate it. I appreciate that he was, and they really raised me in a way that I was always being careful and cautious. I made some mistakes, which I learned from, but they were always there to like be mad at me, but also be supportive. And I grew better from those mistakes. You know, I became wiser.
What was it like joining Obsessions while he was still so resistant?
I did not join until he was, yes. I never, I wanted his blessing. I'm not a disobedient child.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and I feel like when you do something without someone's blessing, it's just like a curse. I was like, if anything happens to me, then who do I go to?
Yeah. I feel like, with a lot of how rigid they can tend to be, many people go the route of like, I would rather say sorry than ask for permission.
No. Back then, what I would do is I would go watch them, but I wasn't performing. Then the little time that I performed, I would feel so guilty, but I would perform to day shows. You know, the ones where they would go to schools and what. I would, because I would go, and sometimes they used to take me, but I would feel in if somebody's missing. And that's how I kind of was getting into the gist of how they perform. They were very professional. Like from the outside, I used to see them as very professional, very organized. Everything had to be on that T. Everything. Choreography. Up to now, I haven't seen a group that is as intense as Obsessions was.
By the way,
The people that know Obsessions, even the videos that we did, if you look at them, the quality was not that good back then because the video, everything was new. But you see the choreo, you see the standard of what we're doing, you're like, these people were ahead of their time. So Ronnie was a visionary, Ronnie Mulindwa. Then Remy Lulwega, he's in Rwanda. Remy works in Rwanda and lives there. These guys, everybody was just very intense and very creative and intentional and present, but they were all young as well, but I was like, if I could just join this group. So what made him allow was now they were doing a play called Cleopatra.
Okay. It comes back to the name.
It came back to the name, and I helped them do the research because I had a friend who is Biaru. You know Biaru? He's with Rock Telecom, and he's the one who does the blankets and wine. So Biaro had tape. It was a good friend of my big cousin. So he had the tapes of Cleopatra. I said, you know what, I can get you the tapes if you want to do, to know what exactly, costuming, I got him the tapes. And I took them back after he was done. Like everybody, they were watching me watch them. I got some notes. I really helped with research. Then I told my guardian, I'm like, please just let me be in this play. Like, let me, I think I'd been begging for 2 years. So I think he was just like, okay. Then I said, well, in fact, he said, okay, when I thought he's going to say no. Like, now I was just like, what, after this, let me just, I was like, I said, okay. I said, wait, what? He's like, okay, you can do it. You're sure? Oh my God, I hugged him. I think you felt so happy for me that I was so happy. So 2001, I officially joined Obsessions. And I started performing with them.
Okay. I know you've gone through so many different spaces and stages.
My guardian even had to go and watch them. I went with my aunt. My aunt to meet them at the place where I would rehearse, and met the mom because she was the patron. We used to rehearse at her house. That's where they used to be, and it was in Itinda, so they were near my home. And then she also, I wanted that. She had that rapport, and then she was like, she said, no, they're okay. They're okay. So I got in.
Okay. And then I'm curious about those people whose influence kind of stuck with you as you've gone on, like those mentors that you learned from. Tell me.
The mentors. And some of them mentor you without being there in your life, right? Like you watch their life, or you watch and they just keep admiring how they are. I think, let's see. One of them is Kwezi Kaganda, Mr. Kwezi. He was one of the director, and also but he was a writer mostly on Sanyu.
Okay.
And he was in the Ebonies. He used to be in the Ebonies. You should look him up. And he used to teach us literature in high school at Namasagali. And he was also our acting mentor. Like by then, when we do the plays, he was always the one coaching us and all. So he's one person who I feel inspired me to actually pursue this journey, because he would always be encouraging, and he kept saying, there's something in you, when you leave this school you shouldn't let it die, you should just keep creating, keep performing. It's the same thing Father Grimes told me. My mom used to tell me that I would be a star someday, like, you're my little star, you'll be a star. She had wanted to take me to the New York Film Academy because it's been there for a long time. Like we had a plan with my mom somehow, then she died before. Like, so things change, but somehow if you're destined to that, it's like everything I wanted to do kind of, I didn't know how it was going to play out, but somehow the journey came together. I was so passionate about creativity. It led me there, because and then another person that I think I used to look up to was even also meeting out. I met Eli Wamala, the late. He used to work. We used to live on Kampala Road, and he used to work in I think he had that. It was either their store, the shop, or something. And I used to go there to buy. The first time I went there and I saw him. He was so nice, so kind. I was in primary school, and that stuck with me. And I think that's why I'm also maybe nice and like I'm not like, I'm just me with people, because this guy was big time like back then, but he was very down to earth, very grounded. Then I met the late Ballet Francis, the news anchor, because I used to think I would work on BBC someday or CNN. Like I was like, maybe I'll be a news anchor. I was always like journalistically dreaming, and so when I met him in primary school as well, he came to our school to speak to us at Nakasero Primary School. He was also nice, and I think he told me something very encouraging that stuck with me. And by primary, I loved the arts. I was in the choir as well, and I used to be active, but I didn't know what would be. So there's certain things like that. You people, you should know that what the words you share with the people that meet you, that admire you, or that look up to you matter, and how you treat them, because you inspire. These are the people that meet you 20 years later and that may be better than you. They're in places where you maybe couldn't go, and they could probably open that door. But how did you treat them back then? How did you treat a young hopeful? It matters. I think, you pay it forward, and it's a ripple effect. If you're mean and arrogant and abusive, I think it's karma. It comes back to you. Yeah.
And some people take that as though that is the way to do things. You meet people who are like, I suffered, so others must also.
Well, if you suffered and others must also suffer, then your kids will suffer. No one will want to help your kid. It's a ripple effect. Let me tell you. You can't say that. You can't say let them learn, but share your knowledge. Share what you know. There's no harm in that. Because the thing is, you can never prevent somebody from the experience. You can't. You will tell, you can know that you'll tell somebody, but if you go there, while you're waiting, you're going to fall. That person will listen to you after they've fallen. You get what I mean? They will still touch it. So you can't prevent it. There's nothing. Whether you share your knowledge, some people will listen and take the advice. Others will say, me, I know better. How she suffered. Maybe she was stupid. Maybe those were those days. It doesn't fall. Things, it's different script. Like different cast, same script. You get what I mean? Yeah.
Speaking of casts and scripts, let's get into now your acting era. I mean, I feel like there's so much rejection in that space. Did you ever have to deal with that? Because like, auditioning, you see a role, you're like, oh my goodness, I see myself there. I am that girl. why wouldn't they give me the role? Has that happened for you?
One thing with me is that I was never too sure that a role is mine.
Okay.
Because the thing is, you would always now imagine I audition for something with Kenyans, or you don't know, like they're in Kenya. I'm auditioning from here.
Yes.
I don't know what the chances are that I'll be taken. I know I can do it, but how arrogant am I going to be that it should be me? It was never a guarantee for me. I never took anything for granted, and that comes from my how I grew up. Because remember, like I told you, you come from being the only child to living with people, and you're not sure of your future, and you can't really say what you want. You can't choose the school you want to go to. Everything is kind of like I was putting myself last most of the time, and that can be bad. It can be bad because you kind of switch off your dreams. But what helped me was what were we talking about again?
Like dealing with rejection.
Yeah, what helped me with the moments that I would the times that I would audition and maybe I don't get a role, I'll tell myself it wasn't for me. I will say it wasn't for me, and it's okay. And I'll try again. I was always willing to just try again, because with talent, there are many people that are talented, but there's always the one thing that maybe the director is looking for, the casting agent. It may not be that you're bad at acting. It may be you're good at acting. You're amazing, but maybe you're not exactly the physique they are looking for, or maybe the color. No. Energy can be worked on. If you're too strong, too loud, they can tell you, oh, this character will be like this. You can work on that. But if it's the physique, let's say they want somebody who's tall, light skinned, can play, I don't know, can do karate, and you can do karate. You can do. What do you mean? Are you going to learn karate now? Yeah. And or maybe they want someone short and dark, dark skin, a melanin girl with big hair. And they say now you put a wig, but there's somebody new who has the hair, and so there is things like that. Like I got to understand that the roles, it depends. They might want you act well, but they want a European, somebody who has like studied abroad, and they have the accent. The ones with the accent, they have the accent, yeah. Mine is they really have the like Nana. You speak to Nana Kagan, she's like, she'll switch to English and you're like, oh my god, is she American? Is she British? And then she'll go to Uganda. And they're like, this chick. So so the casting, it's all about what exactly they want for the role, and or the character. And when you learn that as an artist, it's not about you. It's not always about you. Forgive yourself. If you don't get the part, please move on. And when you do an audition, don't dwell on it saying, when are they calling? When are they calling? Forget about it. If they call you, they call you. I auditioned for Changes, the Kenyan series. And they called me 3 months later. I'd forgotten about it. I went for the auditions at National Theatre. And I forgot about it because I was like, I guess they took someone else. I didn't even know, because you don't know when they're shooting, whatever. They called me 3 months later. Hi, is this Cleopatra? I'm like, yeah. This is I even remember the lady that called me. Because she's now a full-blown producer. By then she was a production manager. That's the difference with Kenya. They would always, they were moving. Right now they're a bit stagnant. Kenya and Uganda, we are moving. So Kenya should have been much more. I don't know what happened. They're struggling. The politics is affecting everything. But yeah, so she called me. Then she was a production manager. She said, you've gotten the part. I screamed. So it's different. It's you just have to accept when you don't get the part. Don't. It's not you. Yeah. It's not always you, unless you have bad attitude.
Right.
Yeah.
I was about to ask, what was it like when you got that first phone call? But I don't know.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. That was the first time I did a casting from, like, because it was Kenya and I'm here, so that I got the phone call. With here, you'd be called back, or and then they tell you, oh, we want you to. So it's different. But the phone call.
Was Changes your first role?
No.
Okay.
The Last King of Scotland was my first role. But that one I did. I started with that. Oh my God, it was too much pressure as well, right?
Yeah.
Because how do you come from Last King of Scotland and do something shitty?
Yeah.
You can't. Like, that's suicide. That's career suicide. So from the last King of Scotland, then I went to Changes in Kenya. But the last King of Scotland was the first one.
Yes.
And for it, I don't remember getting a call. I don't know how I got to know. I think they called me back, and I thought, I don't remember how I got the call back, but I remember meeting the director. Oh yes, they called me to go for the audition. We did the first audition, like how you present yourself. They record you talking about yourself and what you do, and that's it. Your name and what you like. Then they called us from there. They called us because we did at National Theatre. As Obsessions, we had our play. So they came and told us, oh, there's a movie that's going to be done here, blah, blah, blah. Did I know how big it was going to be? I didn't know. I had no clue. Me, I just wanted to be I was like, the chance to act on film, because now my dream of being on film was coming to actualization. Because there was no films by then that we were really doing as Ugandans. Apart from maybe that's like Matu, which was like the one that we grew up watching, the Ebonies, yeah. But what I wanted was like, a film. So when that opportunity came, I said, I'm just gonna do this. And then when I went to meet the director, I didn't know it was the director himself. You people be humble. Hey, there are people who get into a room, and they give attitude of, do you have someone? Oh my God. And yet the person who's behind the camera, like here, is the director. Or he's the one who is handling, like funding, is the producer. And he's watching you. Yeah. I'm telling you, I learned. No, so I was there. I was just talking to this guy. And he was going to be the director. Kevin McDonald. Yeah. And he asked me which part I wanted to play. Okay. There were two parts they had thought for me. But one had a sex scene. Okay. Hey, what? I said, who? Me. The first role. I'm having a sex scene. How do I even do that? Wait, there's no way. And I'm like, then it will even be bad because I'm in Obsessions. And already they look at us. There was a whole thing of Obsessions. They're sexy. They're what? Then I said, now if I do that, like I'll be like, they'll be like, this girl. So I said, no, I don't think I will be comfortable on camera, even if it's just pretend. Yeah. There's no way I'll justify that here, that it was not real, because filmmaking wasn't yet, people are not yet conversant with the filmmaking and the behind the scenes. So I turned that one down. I said, no, I think, with our environment, blah, 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 I can't do it. I'm with my guardians. No, I can't do it. Then he said, there's this other part. It's a smaller part. My part was the smaller part, but it became the bigger part. Like, honestly, it was the smaller part. I had lines, I had, dialogue, but it ended up being the bigger part. Even when the director was directing me, that I was listening. And then I was acting also closely with James McAvoy, then Kerry Washington, and Forrest Whitaker. Oh my God, that was a whole huge, and for me, I knew all their movies. Right. Yeah.
Just like, were you starstruck or?
I was so happy to be on set with them. I still feel it now, and seeing all of them blossoming the way they did, because Forrest Whitaker got his first Oscar after doing the last game score on. Then James McAvoy blew up. He's from the UK. He's Scottish. Yeah. He blew up after that. And the next time I'm seeing him, he's doing a movie with Angelina Jolie, who I loved. Like, damn. Wow. And then Kerry Washington. Right now she's shining, Yeah. Then Scandal blew her up. But I had been watching these people's things, Forrest Whitaker was always cast as a cop or a thief, So things changed after that. Just that movie changed everything for them, and it changed things for me too, because that's how I got into the filmmaking. So I can never forget that. Yeah.
Oh my God.
And they were so nice. They were.
That must have been absolutely insane. Like, I'm curious what it is like getting into character, especially if it's a role that is completely different from who you are in your day-to-day.
Yeah. When you get a character to play, it's always good to read the script and understand it. I always like to do that. I read the script. If I have questions, then I'll ask the director, what's your vision? What do you see? I think this. I don't, because sometimes most directors are really good, because directors work hand in hand with actors. So it's good when a director can listen or can advise or can work with an actor, because it makes the project much more enjoyable.
Yeah.
And executing the role is much more easier when you're working with somebody who can also share what they see or what they would want you to maybe add. Because when you read the script, you kind of see yourself in it. I see myself in a script and I see myself in a character. If I don't see myself in that character, then I will not accept the role. Because I feel like I'm not going to be 100 to it. And there's somebody else. I'm like, there's Lean. Maybe ask Lean. I even recommend. I'm like, I think maybe try this. There's a director wanted me to play a certain role. And I read the script and it was so good. Recently. It was, I think, this year or last year. And it was so good. I love the story. Gripping story. And they really want me to play the part, but I wasn't seeing myself. And that was a problem. It's not like I'm not seeing Cleo. I mean, seeing me be it. I was just like, no. And every time I was reading, another face would pop up in my head. Like I was seeing a face. I'm like, ah. So I ended up telling the person, like, I can't do this role. I love it. I love the story, but I think I won't do it justice.
So you always have
I like to be true to
yourself, or
an element pulling from the fact that will I do this role 120%? Will I have things that I will even add to it? When you're cooking, you have your spices. You're going to put in cumin, you're going to put in some, you know how to cook. Okay. I might be saying cumin, like, what's that? And I have basil, or what's that? So, you have your good thing, you have your mix you will do to just add it. Then you have your maybe soy sauce, and you're like, just add a little of this. So now, when you have a character that you're going to play, there's that excitement you get when you see yourself in it.
Right.
Oh my God, I see you kind of see yourself being that person, So for me, when I want to also, I take time at understanding the role, understanding the character, then writing down their relationship with the other people in the scenes that they play. Who am I playing with in this scene? What's my relationship with them? Why are they like this? Why do I say this like this? Am I saying it happily or am I pissed? Am I pretending? There's always the underlying truths to the words that we say. So if you're an actor that is just going to focus on saying lines, you'll be flat.
Right.
You have to dig deeper and actually personalize it to you for it to be meaningful to the other person watching you.
What actors have you seen over the years that you kind of are impressed with how they present themselves and how they kind of melt into the character?
Is that generally like internationally and locally?
Yeah?
Yes. Oh my God. I will say Angelina Jolie used to be the woman that, cause she doesn't really act anymore. She's more into directing and, but she used to be intense. Like, I don't understand. I would always be like, oh my God, how does she do it? How does she become in this? You watch Changeling, she's this vulnerable mother who has lost her son, and you're wishing, can she kick some people? Like, why are they not helping her find her son? And she's weak and she's grieving and she's crying. And then you watch Salt, and she's this woman who is going to kill you. She's an assassin. And then Denzel Washington. Denzel is those two were the ones that I would always watch, and I'm just like, I love how intense they are. Denzel acted as there was this movie where he was actually with Angelina Jolie, but he was like sick. What was the movie called? I can't remember. He had a condition. Another one was Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt was like too cute, too handsome, that they wrote him off in the beginning. Yeah, they would give him the roles to be shirtless, until he said people, I can do better. But when he did Meet Joe Black, that was the movie that made me like him, because he even spoke patois, he spoke Jamaican in that film, and he did it so well. It was deep. Then of course the Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, you cannot miss out on those ones, And then of course the man Malone who was doing the Godfather. You guys, those ones just give me chills. So there's so many. Then here, filmmaking started. Like, I feel maybe now I can talk about the now. The people, there are people that I love and I encourage. Like I'm always talking to them.
Mm.
I think if like one day will just say Cleo is always cheering us on or something. I don't know, because I believe in them. I see them. I feel they're amazing, and they're so real and genuine and pure with their artistry. It's not about they just love what they're doing, and you see it. One of them is Ken Rukundo. Another one is Penina.
Yes.
You know, then of course Nana herself. I love Nana. Nana delves into it. When we acted together on Prestige, she was all tense, like, and we would feel each other's energy. With acting, if you are an actor that focuses on yourself, you miss out on a lot because you shut out your other actor and you can't feed off their energy. It's very important to be able to actually listen to what they're saying, because like you see how we're having a conversation now and you're responding and you're looking at me, you're there, you're listening. It's the same with acting, but some people they're waiting for their cue. So you're talking and they're looking at you, but you can see their eyes are dead. The camera sees everything. If you ask me something and you feel, the camera sees everything, so the audience can tell when somebody is awkward, when somebody is uncomfortable, when somebody is being bitchy, you know, like in a scene, and or like it's not necessary. Then someone will be like, what? You find someone and say, what is it with Cleo? Why is she? There's something off. You know, when people say there's something off, those are the moments when you also watch a film and they're like, I think there's always something off. Then you find out, then there are those who have amazing chemistry when they actually don't get along, but it's because they work on that energy and they actually listen. So be present. Be present.
A quick sidebar. Do you find that nowadays you can kind of read people's expressions and kind of see what they're, not necessarily what they're thinking, what they're feeling, but like can you read people more easily after acting?
I've always been an observer, even as a young child. So I'm how do you say? I'm an empath. I feel energy. I feel things. So I was always keen. I could tell if somebody is maybe uncomfortable around me, or if somebody's lying, or if they don't want me around. And then I'll just either just shut down or just, you know. So even now, I think because of the acting and all, and watching a lot of movies and just being so curious, I can tell when somebody's energy is off, or like not in relationships, please. I don't read minds. Someone like that, but the guy is like, maybe your boyfriend, how do you read it? No, that is even the worst. My relationships, I don't know how to read those people. You get what I mean? But it's so easy to like feed off with, like, I can know when somebody is sad or when they're lying, but let it be my relationship. That is the one place. When it comes to me, it's like you can't know. You can't know. Because I think things are supposed to be mysterious, right?
Sometimes we know you just like this.
No, you sense. Now I usually have a sixth sense on things, but the things you can't know. So because you believe, you get what I mean? Yeah. You believe. You have a feeling, but then you're like you believe. Hopeless romantic. I used to be a hopeless romantic.
Girl, stand in line.
Now I don't know. I think I have an ice box where my heart used to be. I'm so cold.
Yes, so let's get back to the scripting of it all. You know, when it comes to the chemistry between two actors in a scene, I always wonder, how do people remember their lines? Is it now a thing of like trying to memorize or trying to be in the moment with the other character?
I think it's a bit of both, memorizing and being in the moment. But when you read the script, because they give you the script much earlier, so you kind of become conversant with it, then you understand it, then you rehearse with the person. You keep rehearsing. The more you say the words, and the more you're the words, the more you're the words. You understand what I mean? The more you are real. it's a part of you. It becomes a part of you. It's naturally there.
Okay.
I can't even tell you how I do it or how it's, but you not, I get the words, I learn them easily. I think it's because I come from the theater background, because with theater you only had one shot.
Yes.
Once you're on the stage, the audience is live.
Yes.
But one moment I went blank. Yeah, it happened. I went blank on stage.
Yeah.
But with stage, there was always somebody who cues you the line. So when they saw me go blank, it was actually, I was acting alongside Natasha, because it was an obsessions play. Natasha Sinayobe, and then she said my line. So when she said my line, because she said it like it was her line, then everything came back.
Yes.
But I don't know why I went blank. Like, it can happen. You can go blank, even on camera. You can be rolling, and then it just go like, and it happens once in a blue moon. And we hate it. We hate it as actors. Like, when it happens, you're like, oh my god, what?
But at least the camera is a lot more.
Oh, the camera is easier because they'll say cut, and you take it again. Stage, we went blank, but they couldn't tell because she covered up, and that's what helps when your other actor knows your lines. That's what I'm saying. That if you're an actor who's just focusing on yourself, you'll not be as helpful when in moments like that.
Someone else will go blank and you're
You're also waiting for you, and then it will be so obvious. You get what I mean? So it was always good. With theater, we always had to learn each other's lines, and it made it easier for me now when I'm doing the film acting. Getting the lines for my script is just like this, and when I'm on set, I focus. I do not want to talk too much with people, especially if the scene is going to be intense, it is sad, it is heavy. I want to be in that space. I'm not a method actor. I'm a Meisner technique kind of person. But the Meisner technique and method acting, the Meisner technique is the one that believes that it should be true. Everything that you do in the role should be true and meaningful to you in order for it to make sense to the other person who's watching you. And the method acting, they stay in it even when they leave set. Me, I leave it on set. You get what I mean? It's different like that. I can shake it off and go home and play with my daughter. A method actor can't, because it stays in them, you know. So
the spirit of that character.
Yeah, Michael Awio Jr. is a method actor. Yeah, and he says it. He's like, but every time we would interact, he's like, "But you like a method actor?" I'm like, it's kind of the same because some of the elements are, but the difference is that.
Right.
Yeah. So once you know that, once you get that, it's easy. And if the other actor is the kind of person who also gets their lines fast enough, and then they actually internalize them and they know why they're saying it and how they will say it to you, then it flows. Yeah.
I'm curious about the timelines, because you say you get the script and not like much.
No, sometimes not.
Okay.
It becomes a part of you once you know how to master.
You mentioned that, then you mentioned rehearsals. So what do those timelines look like before the camera actually goes on?
The rehearsal is blocking. The day they block you, the day you're going to shoot. You're going through it, because now, like with Prestige, there's no time to prepare people and for them to learn all their lines. They give you the script, it was like you have to be sharp, you have to be ready, and then you ask, maybe if you don't understand anything, then ask a question before you. So when you're on set, the director is telling you, okay, this is what you're going to be, then I want you to do this, and the things that they usually add, and directing us and telling us, well, then they'll be like, okay, ready, guys, lines, and she'll be like, some of the directors are like, okay, let me see. Then they run it, a dry run. That's called a dry run, where they run it with the camera as the camera gets the movements and everything. But it's not the shoot. It's not the one that they're going to take as a scene. So you do a dry run, and if the director feels like, okay, they're ready, then you go. And some directors are more like, okay, you're ready, this is what you're going to do. I'm going to take it. Then if they see there's something they don't like, then they will now do it again. But so it depends on what type of director you're working with. Some are very technical, some are very mechanical. We stand here, slap at this point, and then others say, "Give me what you got."
Right.
I love the ones that tell me, "Give me what you got," and then they say, "Now add this," and then they start also adding in their magic of, "I like this, add this." Okay, can you come? Can you now that? Those ones are the best directors. Like you do magic together.
Yeah. Absolutely. What excites you about filmmaking now? Are you more, are you delving into the behind the camera space at all, or you're just keeping it front and center?
I'm actually delving behind into the writing, into the directing and producing.
Okay.
I'm also part of the Producers Guild, National Producers Guild. Don't know if you've had it. Producers Guild Uganda. It's a new one where most of the producers are now coming together. We want all producers to be a part of it because it's the one that's representing us as Ugandans. Because just like you see from the structure of Hollywood and listen, maybe Nollywood and Bollywood, they all have their guilds. The actors have a guild, there's producers have a guild, directors, there's that whole, when you see PGA at the end of a movie, there's like you see a name and there's PGA next to them. That's like the Producers Guild America. Then if you see, so it's like Screen Actors or SAG, or so we are trying to make the film industry more structured, more organized, so that when projects come here, they don't go to the wrong people. They have even a database on who are the producers to work with, and the producers know which actors to hire and which camera, like cinematographers, which makeup artists. So all these guilds need to be put in place, and that brings more structure. And if you're part of that guild, you actually are the first priority to any benefits, projects, benefits. Like in America, they'll tell you if you're not a part of the union. That's why they say some are union free, non-union, others are union, but most projects are union. So most of the performers have to be registered. There's that protection and there's that extra, the benefit, many benefits that come with it. So if you're a producer out there, you should join the Producers Guild Uganda. And actors are also creating their own. Actually, I saw one, I think they've started one. So they're calling on actors to sign up for the National Actors Guild. And then there's also, others are going to keep formulating so that we have a better structure. And if we are more organized, then also the government bodies can listen to us. And maybe then we can get more investors and more support. So in a way, it's a win-win.
Now that you are part of that space, I need to ask, a lot of times there are amazing films that come from Uganda, and then, like, if you don't have DSTV, you don't get to watch it. And so I'm just like, I've been curious. I think I remember after the Icon, I literally was writing down titles of movies that I was seeing,
to see and try to find them.
Right. So, like,
how did that go?
But I'm still really
it's a challenge.
Maria, at least.
Maria. Maria. I also watched it on DSTV. Maybe you should just go to Nana's. You tell Nana, I want to watch this, I can review it, and she'll tell you, okay, when can you? But the challenge with that is that because of the copyright, the whole IP, intellectual property, the copyright law that is not yet really very clear on how to protect us and protect our content and our work, it makes it a challenge for most of the filmmakers to put their films like on DVD and sell them, because before you know it, they'll be in Vibanda, and the Vibanda will be making more money than you, the person who created the film. So there's that challenge.
The DVD is there, but I was thinking, like, what of the cinema experience? Because I think
they have been in the cinema.
Really?
Right now, most of the movies are premiering in the cinema.
Okay.
Maria, I think, also was in the cinema. I'm not so sure. But right now, most of the films, even the one that was in Sekukulu, Christmas, the one about Christmas, we premiered it at the cinema, and we actually got a lot more people that are non-filmmakers coming to watch, and it was such a good feeling. We did that last year, December, I think, but we were 2024, I think. time is moving so fast. It could have been 2023. I can't remember. I have to check. But yeah, people are loving, like most of the Ugandans are loving to watch their own like Ugandan films.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate that so much. We really love that people are going to the cinemas. If they could do it more, then it gives more demand to our work. And then we get to be able to make more money. And then the royalties, we're working on royalties is what you continuously keep earning as you leave. Even if you shot this movie. Right now what happens is you do a project and you're paid a one-off for that project and you don't ever earn from it again. My face has been on DSTV from like corner to changes to I don't know what, and I would be making money up to now, like if we had the royalty system. With that dream of mine of royalties, of earning from your work continuously as you do other projects, you keep making money, like how the Americans earn from their work and they don't go broke. It will happen. I think we are on that line of structuring and growing the film industry for the better, as long as we work as a collective, as long as we work together and have the same vision. Because man, it's been a struggle. Like it's a struggle for most creatives. To keep the bread going.
Definitely. I feel like for a lot of creatives, they can relate to that idea of like, not being sure of where the next bag is coming from and whatnot. How was it like for you? Like, have you dealt with some of those issues that a lot of creatives look at?
Yeah, I have. There's you can have a dry spell like with no work, especially let's say now I'm more self-employed now. I'm more freelance. I'm not signed to anybody. So I'm contract based. So someone like me, you'll find that maybe this time around you don't have a lot of projects going on, and nobody, like with the film industry, you'll find that there's not many projects maybe happening at this time, certain time. Like now, there's not many projects happening. There are very few people filming. You will know maybe a series here that's being done. It's a short film here. There's been a lot of short films. Then maybe we are shooting a lot of what we call pilots. The ones that you have to now pitch to be able to get the project running finally, whereby now if you get the person that will actually say, okay, we are on board for this, let's shoot it, they fund it. And with the film industry, there's not much funders. There's things of grants and all, but it's a little more complicated because sometimes the grants also come with their challenges. And I think UCC and UFF, the Ghana Film Festival, has been quite helpful in that aspect, with growing the industry and giving opportunities. Then DSTV, MultiChoice also commissioning projects. Then also there was the Opportunities Are Here project that came with the two white ladies when they came. They're under the European Union and the International Trade Center. That also gave opportunity to us, because I was one of the mentors on the show, and also because we were scouting fresh talent. So it was a whole dynamic of, we now have those fresh talents are winning awards. I'm like a proud mother of, oh my god, you shine, darling, shine. I like telling people keep shining, so they are shining, and it's a good thing to see that you pick others up to come into this space, as opposed to gatekeeping and shutting people out. When I first went to Kenya, I had for me mentally, I was like, I need to make an impression that we are great as Ugandans, because then they'll hire other Ugandans. I was the only Ugandan on the set, and then I had a sister who were two Ugandans, and after that, in the next seasons, Gaetano joined the series, So there was Gaetano, then another time, So you end up feeling like it ends up opening more doors. And before us, there was Philip Luswata, who was in the Egoli series. And you have to be, I'm so informed with the creative space because it's an industry that I am in. So I inform myself so much, no matter how old something could be. It might not be in my time, it might not have been there in my time, but I make sure I know what was happening before, So that I understand it. Now, Philip Uswata was in Igoli, and I remember the time we saw him, I don't remember what class I was in, but like, it was a big deal seeing a Ugandan in a South African series at that time. So he also opened doors for and he went to Kenya because he was now doing the Makutano Junction. And when you have a good work ethic, you open doors for more other people to get to work in the industry. If we don't do a good job, then in the future they just shut out Ugandans. They will like, we don't want Ugandans, are just a headache. Yeah, they're a headache. We don't want. But you see now the other kids ended up also going. There was Rachel Nduhuchire, Tracy Kababito, then also Hossein Mushema. They ended up going, and what's his name? This other boy, Michael Tamale. They were cast in the series Prefects in Kenya. Then Natasha also got to act in Volume, a series in Kenya. So you get to see Tanya Kankindi. So for me, that makes me happy, because in a way I'm like, the more Ugandans get into more international projects, the better. Instead of just having I was there, like Netflix, when they did I was in the Sense8 series, which is a Hollywood series, but they shot it in Nairobi, and I auditioned and got a part. So I was like, because they wrote about it here that I was the first Ugandan to be in a Netflix series, which was true, because we hadn't yet started having our stuff on Netflix. Yellow Jumper came later, which is also another plus, because now for the Yellow Jumper, the girl in the Yellow Jumper was a Ugandan film. For me, I featured in a Hollywood production, which is different, but then it also makes good sense. Like it's all those are wins for us, So the more Ugandans get into collaborations, into projects that I feel like I would prefer when we do more global partnerships. We work with Nigeria, work with Kenya, work with this. That it's not just and that's how Africa will grow as a Hollywood of its own. Collaborations.
What do you see is different between the industry today and then
what's different now
the biggest difference? I feel like there's so many.
The biggest difference. There's so many. Right now, there's much more opportunities, much more film schools. Most of us, we learned on the job, or and then I got training later, because I got selected there was so many African professionals that applied for a training that was supposed to be in Los Angeles, Hollywood, and I was among the 6 that got selected out of more than, I don't know, 1,000. And this was called Hollywood in Focus. This was in 2016. But I had been living in Kenya, so I had to come back here to prepare to go for that training. But I was doing acting for camera. So I ended up getting, then when we're doing the projects also in Kenya, they would give us extra for them. The difference is they prepare you. We do a workshop, and that's why they would train you. That's why I learned the Meisner technique, because there was a gentleman called Rob Mello from Atlanta, who is an acting coach and everything. Like, he has a studio and everything, very qualified. He taught us this and gave us that book of the Meisner technique. And they talk about it. If you go on YouTube, the Meisner technique, Meisner, it's from a person called Meisner, of course, who started that technique. So when you read about it, you can easily understand it. So it's there's a lot more film schools now. There's a lot more people that are interested in the industry. Actors are recognized as actors. It's not like, oh, Likatemba. Oh, what? Oh, you say, what do you do? I act. Yeah, but what do you do? Oh, or what, when we say actor, and somebody's like, hey, so are you in? They start even naming the shows. Or somebody will be like, I see you on TV. Or they're like so keen right now. So there's that exposure. And of course, because the times are different, there is social media. Our times, there was no social media. There was no quick, cheap popularity. You had to earn it. So it's a whole different dynamic. A talent will be scouted immediately, like this on TikTok, which is different from then, where you had to actually go take your and get,
you look out for the audition.
You look out for the audition. The National Theatre. National Theatre was our blackboard, if you may say. That's why most creatives used to meet. And I think that's why when they wanted to close National Theatre, people were like, there's no way. We were like, no, that is how? How can a country not have a National Theatre? Please don't ever, like, you will handicap the creative industry for real. Like, without the National Theatre, what is it? It's like not having a museum. Do we still have a museum? A museum is like, what's in there?
Yeah, some spears.
The museum is not the museum I used to see. But yeah, we should work on that. That's another thing. We need these things because otherwise we lose ourselves. We lose our culture. We lose the history.
You know, a lot of times things concerning the arts are seen as something that is luxurious, that is supposed to be, it's the plus.
You know,
it's not supposed to be the main thing, and yet it's the thing that brings the spirit.
The people learn a lot from creativity.
Yeah.
The people learn a lot from stories. The stories that we tell, they give us our history. They give us hints to our past. They connect us to the things that we probably didn't know before. Like now for Uganda, it was Chimote that was premiered recently. It's was talking about the back cloth. I watched it and I loved the story because there was that element of something that was ours that we probably may not know was ours, because now everything gets taken, from Africa, and it's westernized, and then you find like, wait, was that ours, or was it, or was it from but the back cloth. Then there was there's also The Lions of Uganda, a very nice film. I think Jerry Sesanga was the director on it. You see that Africanness and the Ugandanness and the way they were dressed, culture. And then when you go to like movies that they try to tell us, let's say now how I'm trying to say that we tell stories. An example for South Africa is Shaka Zulu. We wouldn't know their story. But when you watch Shaka Zulu, you kind of know all the history of the Zulu people. And then if you watch Roots for America, you get to know how the slaves suffered, how some of the people migrated or they were taken, and then how America came to become America. You cannot tell me that is the difference between agriculture and creativity. Agriculture is not going to tell you the story of who we are as a people, where we come from, or what we stand for, what we should have believed in, or the history of what. I would not have known who Idi Amin was if it wasn't for history. And for us with filmmaking, we bring everything in this industry. We bring it to life. The history, the geography, because you show Uganda as it is, and somebody says, "Oh wow, I should go visit Uganda. Oh my goodness!"
It's one thing to read about it and say, "Oh yeah, there's a lot of greenery," and then there's another thing to actually see it.
You see it in a movie. I'm telling you, I watch movies and then you're like, "Where is that place? I want to go there." So it's another tourism attraction for our country. Then it's the one that is employing the most people. Most of the youth are in the film industry or the creative sector. I could go on and on, but if somebody does not see the validity of our industry, then I don't understand what is it that you want. Like, you cannot, it's not nonsense. We are not nothing, and we are not stupid.
I think not to step on toes, but I feel like when it goes to like higher ups, when it comes to decision making, a lot of the older generation has a very rigid mindset, and they're like, no, these people are just playing. No, like, let's get people, trading and doing actual serious things. And it's like, no, but it's very serious. It's very needed.
It's important. I like, not all of them are rigid, actually. Some of them are very creative. I mean, like the late Eli Tumwine. He was an artist, a painter, and a musician. Like, he used to do music, and their daughter is the same. And then there is one time I hosted, because I MC as another job. I MC'd a birthday party for one of the generals. As a general soldier, right?
Yes.
General. And he rocked at the party. So they are talented. Yes. They even have their own, like, so they know. But it's just that if only they could see what we see, that this industry, the creative sector, is untapped. And when I talk about the creative sector or the creative industry, it's everything to do with architecture. As long as you're a creative, all of us. Like there is so much tourism and so much everything that will attract more money. We are like they are sleeping on money. We can make money for Uganda and make money for us if we could get the right support. But I think we are getting there. They are, because they recently added the creative sector into the budget. Yeah.
At least a step.
So there is
in the
a
right
step, and
direction.
we appreciate. I love that we're getting that support, and there's also
Yes.
people like Rachel Magola, fighting for the creative space, and like Matthew Nawiso, and us. We're there fighting.
Yes.
You people, we are
It's
taking the
okay.
bullets. We are the ones dying and fighting for you,
Let me tell you,
the young ones. You will be the ones earning from this in years to come. When we might not enjoy. We won't enjoy the fruits of, you get what I mean? We are setting the stones, and I hope we succeed at doing that and making this industry much more profitable and beneficial to people.
We really agree. We see the work that is going into it. I'm curious how you deal with, kind of coming back to center, maybe when things are a little bit tough. How do you, kind of handle, even when it comes to mental health? What does that look like for you?
Oh my God. The worst thing is when you're fighting certain battles, and I'm not the kind of person who'll be like, I'm always good. No. I have my ups and downs. There are times when I have, there are times when I don't. Nobody can really understand your struggle. They'll see you and think everything is glitz and glamour. And I'm speaking for me and people that I know are in the situation that I'm in. They one day they are here, another day they're and this is not about the limelight. This is about them as a person. Their finances, we see a lot of this happening, and it's heartbreaking because I'll give an example of, let's say, the late DJ Alex. He passed on, and he's somebody that we really revered, like we loved and admired. But what did he leave behind? Or you see, let's say we have DJ Bush Baby was awesome. Like, oh my God, I looked up to that guy. Like, I used to listen to him on radio, and I'd be like, one day I should be on radio, And he was representing East Africa. He set that show of East Africa Radio, and he put East Africa like on the globe, like there was that whole thing of bringing Uganda, Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, together, Burundi, and you would listen and just know that there's that thing. So he was very special and very good at what he did, very humble. And the thing is that when you have gems like that, when you have gems like us, I'll call myself a gem. And by that I mean, we are not in it really just for the money, but we want to see things sparkle. We want to see people grow and blossom. And when you have gems like those and you do not appreciate them or give them their flowers or the support they need, the time they need it to grow the industry, they give their all, their heart. And by the time they are gone is when you're appreciating them. It broke our heart. It's just a little too late when DJ Push Baby passed on, because he had done so much that, and yet people would always kind of clip his wings, or kill the vision he has because of greed, because of, if we could just for a moment fight that kind of energy of wanting things for oneself, and we grow the space, or we support people, I think it would be a much better industry, a much better world. But I mean, those are things that we only dream of. But I believe it can happen. Yeah.
That's the hope, I guess.
Yeah. We appreciate the work that these people leave. They leave an impact. That's an imprint. Great work. Yeah.
If you could go back to 2001, hop in a time machine and say, "Hi Cleo, I'm here. I'm from 2025, an entire, 2 decades and a half later," what would you tell her?
To speak to my 19-year-old self. I don't even know. It makes me emotional thinking about it. I think I would tell her, be ready. Be ready to strive. It's not going to be an easy journey. Remember that you are loved. You will make it. You are special. Don't doubt yourself and keep going. I would tell her that because I think that's what I did. Yeah. And you will be okay.
Right. Sometimes you need that reassurance that it actually works out. It's not in vain.
What you thought was the worst thing ever. Just you're like, how did I? You look back and you're like, I pulled through that.
Right.
I pulled through that. Yeah, mental health. You did mention mental health, right? Can I get into that? Creatives, we are very sensitive beings. When it comes to your work, even if you're a producer, you're like, oh my god, this what I'm doing, is it going to be liked by people? Will it make money? For producers, it's money. And then as a director, you're like, I hope, I hope this is it. I hope it comes to life. I hope people like it when they see it. I hope they understand what I was going for and then the actor is like, oh my god, I hope the people will connect with my character. So there's always that worry of is it good enough? Is it, even if you're sure it is, the anxiety you have of people even watching a film. I don't like watching, like, the premieres when I'm in the film. Oh my god, it's like, I think I'm like Johnny Depp of I don't like watching myself. And I'm so anxious, I don't want to watch myself, and then there's that pressure. So I actually enjoy the film festival if I'm not nominated. Like now with the nominations, there's that pressure. But it's good to be nominated because that means they're, nodding to your work. Yeah. But as creatives, we really have this thing of it should, I hope it's good. I hope it's good. So mentally, we get stressed.
Yeah.
Mentally, we get drained. There is a lot of self-doubt among the creatives. Some may not say it, but many do self-doubt. Many have that what's that syndrome, like imposter syndrome, yeah. And then and also the fact that the jobs are not always coming. It's seasonal.
Yeah.
So sometimes somebody has money, sometimes they don't have money. You'll find that maybe someone doesn't even have anybody to share their issue with. Maybe they don't have rent this month.
Right.
I always have people who, like, people find it easy to confide in me. So you'll find that somebody will probably ask, oh my God, I need this, I don't have rent, they're going to kick me out of there. And I'm like, dude, me too. Like, I'm just kind of I'm not being kicked out, but like I'm looking for rent right now. There's always that hustle of like making sure you got the rent, then you have to pay bills, you have to pay this, and sometimes you find that people really are weighed down. You meet somebody and they have kind of shrunk. You're wondering, hey, are you okay? I'm fine. And most people don't want to share.
Oh yeah.
They don't want to talk about the things that are bothering them. And there is, hopefully, maybe someday there'll be that safe space where there is a way to, maybe even a loan thing for filmmakers, where if somebody's stuck, they can get help with, not necessarily the bank, because it's even the thing of getting a loan from the bank. You need a land title, you need a house, you need you have to own something. And the creative, like the normal, ordinary creative who's starting out, what do you tell that one now? Then us who are like there, we've also made it. There are those that struggle. Some of us struggle. And you find that there are people who, what helps us is that you have a family, if you have a family to fall back on, or you have somebody that you can rely on that is going to help you in that time when you're down. Because one minute you may have a lot of money and then you put it in a business. And when you start a business, the business also has to be sustained. So there's a lot of mental breakdown that people go through. I remember there's a time I got a panic attack. It was a few years ago. I had done this project, and the pay was good, and then they called us back to do some extra things. So you see, like how you would sign a contract of being paid from this time to that time, then you do, but in that time you'll be doing extra things. You keep doing extra, then again you kind of overlap into like other months, and you're thinking your pay is going to be the same. They've not communicated anything. Then the end of the month, you have your bills, you have school fees, you have your rent to pay, which rent most times now they want 2 months. I want to own my own house one day. So now you have your rent, you have what? Then you have other bills, then you probably have your like medical something to do. Yeah. And so it happened that when the month ended and I was getting paid, I was paid much less than I expected. And the reason was, oh, it is paying for the days, the extra days. I could not breathe.
Yeah.
I was on phone. I said, what? And then, like, it was the first time when I watch a movie, because you see, when you watch movies, sometimes you see people acting those panic attacks. You're thinking, hey, does that really happen? Like, you're thinking it's Muzungu things. I could not breathe. Like, I was freaking out. My eyes were welling up, and I didn't know what to do because my kid had been in school for like, I don't know, like maybe already had been in 2 weeks. I never delay with paying fees and that, and I'm organized. So this was a setback. This was the first time I'm like, whoa. And then I don't have a fallback because this is something that had taken all my time and had fought me being able to do other things.
Yes.
It was, you guy, I don't even know, because it's the grace of God and my family and friends. But at that time, I think I was like, what would it cost?
Right.
If I didn't have my kid, I think I'd have taken my life. That's how people just kill themselves. Because you come to a point where you're like, everything is just bombarding you. There's so much, and it's not just you. You even have maybe other people to take care of. And when you ask for help, like I hate asking for help, because sometimes when you ask for help and maybe you're rejected, or like everybody, maybe like the few trusted people tell you, I can't right now. I don't have money right now. Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot help you because I'm dealing with that. Because even me, I don't like turning down people. Then you're like, by the time someone asks you for help and they rarely ask, you know that it's a problem. You know there's something going on. But most times everybody can just be passive. And then you see somebody just drown. So that time was drowning for me. I was just like, how am I here? How am I? Because the situations happen to anyone. Anyone. Even if you are loaded, the more money, the more problems.
Absolutely.
When you have more money, you find that you're in debt because they have loans, they have what, and someone. That's how we see businessmen. Their businesses, they're being taken to court. Their businesses are being taken. You find, then you ask yourself, how does somebody like Bitadure get into a situation, and you're like, the guy has money, yeah, but you saw somebody, a wrong decision gets him somewhere, or somebody messes him up, and you find that he now has to, and he has to, but he has money, and then you're thinking, now me, who is not a billionaire, hey, if I get a situation like that where somebody, you're expecting to get, let's say 20 million, and someone tells you, I'm giving you 2, won't you die? So that I went through that. I got a panic attack. And then also the fact that sometimes also the pressure, the industry of, let's say you're giving 120% and you're mentally, physically drained, because it's the acting, the performing takes your mental, your physical and your spiritual self. You immerse yourself. I'm the kind of actor who, like, most of us immerse ourselves in the roles. So the more intense the role, the more it takes from you. And you have to pray about it. I always tell people, cover yourself. Pray when you get a role, pray over it. May it not become your life. May it not seep into your life. Because there is this saying where they say the actors, it's the actor's world that becomes your life. If you act like a beggar in a movie, you find that maybe you end up becoming, in real life, you go bankrupt. Next thing they're saying, you'll run mad. And someone's like, they acted that. They were acting mental. So you have to be careful where it becomes your real life. So you cover. But I'm telling you, people are going through a lot of mental depression. People, and then they go out and smile. I'm
Put
one
in the
person
best
who
way.
makes sure I have people that I can rely on, that I will talk to when I'm going through such moments, because I'm not perfect. And I am working. I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm still a work in progress, and I know that I will achieve some of those things I'm still working at getting one day. And I remember whoever helps me. I remember because there are very few.
Right.
There are very few, and I ask very few.
Right.
So I know, like, I can put them. I know people have been in my corner, in the shadows, and I appreciate them so much.
Yeah.
Those are the people that keep me going when I'm down. And everybody needs that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you'll drown. Did that just rhyme? I don't want to get too serious, because it's intense. And I really want to encourage the young actors out there. If you're getting into this industry, if you're getting into the music industry, be yourself. Do not put on a facade. I know it's like, if people believe this fake it till you make it crap, but I feel like it just takes you to a downfall. Like, because imagine you say now, sigenda cause it's a border. Then one day you don't have the money. Then what are you going to do? What? Like, just live your life. Do what you gotta do. Be yourself. Enjoy moments, and do not put on a facade. If you can't afford it, don't show that you can, and then you're put in a situation of staying in that space. And that's how you start now hiding yourself. Then you start living beyond means. And then you can't afford the car. Then they take the car. Then live within your means. And if you're stuck, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. People have pride. Ego kills us. But I think if we're just real with ourselves, if you need help, please seek help. You see in those movies of America where they say, if you have a mental problem, now if you have a mental problem, or if you have a problem, please talk to somebody close to you. Don't die with it alone. It's a very big thing to be mentally bothered. And the mental health is important. It's not about nti alikasilo or alimu laluwe. It's not just about that. Mental health is to do with your well-being. And if your mental health is not in check, then your whole physicality, you start falling sick for nothing.
Right. I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of people hold it in, because of that association with the more extreme parts of, being mentally unwell.
I think just be real. Me, I'm still a work in progress.
Yeah.
I'm successful, yes, but am I rich or wealthy yet? Work in progress. Wealth is coming. You get what I mean? Because everything keeps on accumulating with time, and everybody makes it big in their own time. So even as you start, stay humble, stay true to yourself, know what you're working at, what are your goals, what do you want to achieve. Don't compromise yourself and sell yourself short at the same time. But then again, also be confident in yourself. You understand? It's a whole, I don't know, like when you ask me how have you sustained yourself all these years, and it's just because I know what I want to get and I know where I'm going. But the process, I don't know what blows are coming my way. And when those blows come, then I deal with them. Because sometimes you think you got it, then the life throws you. Yeah. And it kicks you off your game. And you're back to zero. And then you have to restructure. But I know where I'm going. So when you know where you're going, you can't fail. Yeah.
Speaking of where you're going, as we wrap up, what are you excited most for in the future?
Oh, I'm excited for, I can't even say because I don't know. But I would say what I would hope for, right? I'm hopefully excited for, let's say, producing my own works, working with amazing creatives, working with some amazing young actors and cinematographers that are coming up. The kids are really good. And just telling stories my way, my voice. That's what I'm looking forward to. May the grace of God, may it happen. And I also look forward to maybe, hopefully, one day having another baby. I would love that. My daughter has disturbed me. She wants a sibling, but I hope for that. I hope for love. I'm a romantic. Yeah, so I hope for love and happiness and all that excitement. Like I'm
Yeah.
still dreaming.
There's
I'm
so
a
much
dreamer.
more
So it's just
ahead.
I think there's so much more. I don't think you can ever say that it's
Yeah, but
this is it. This is I've reached. Because the more you get, the more you work for, the more challenges you now incur. And yeah, but I really also look forward to just teaching other people. Each one teach one, like Denzel Washington says, and paying it forward, and just that ripple effect. Maybe in the future, the world will look after my child.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Cleopatra, thank you so much for sharing. I've learned so much about the world of the Ugandan film industry. I've never really gotten into it, at least the way that you have kind of let us in. And I think the people at home who are watching should have taken at least 1, 2, 3 nuggets. I have a notebook full of, all these gems and notes. But guys, see you watching. If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of our page because there's so much more for you to see. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe.